Good evening, and welcome to Red's Classic Theater. Our movie this week features one of the most repulsive yet sympathetic characters in big screen history. Hi everybody, I'm Red Robinson. Our movie is the 1939 Charles Laughton version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. During production, Laughton struggled with his costume, battled the intense heat, and fought with his makeup man. We'll tell you more about this later. Now, Act 1 of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Tonight on Red's Classic Theater, Charles Laughton is starring in the 1939 version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Tonight's movie could not have come at a better time for Charles Laughton. He'd lost a fortune on a failed movie production company, and the IRS was after him for unpaid taxes. Frankly, he needed the money, but evidently RKO didn't. And on the set, Charles Laughton was delighted to see that the studio was spending enough money to make Hunchback one of the most visually stunning movies of all time. We'll tell you more about the studio's spending spree when Red's Classic Theater returns in a moment. The budget for tonight's movie was $3 million, a huge sum, especially for 1939. And RKO used most of that money to build a huge set on a 75-acre ranch in the San Fernando Valley outside Los Angeles. The centerpiece was a 200-foot replica of the Notre Dame Cathedral, and around it, an entire medieval town with walls, moats, and marketplaces. Stagehands even chopped up 1,700 celery stalks to simulate litter in the alleyways. When the director filled the set with 3,500 extras, it truly became a medieval town. Now back to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Hope you're enjoying Charles Laughton in The Hunchback of Notre Dame this week on Red's Classic Theater. Playing the deformed hunchback in tonight's movie was a painful experience for Charles Laughton. To give Laughton's face the lopsided look of the hunchback, makeup artist Percy Westmore pulled one side of Laughton's face up and the other side down, and then after applying specially created latex prosthetics, a special contact lens was fitted in Laughton's eye to give it a milky look. Unfortunately, the heat of the California summer caused Charles Laughton to sweat, oftentimes ruining Westmore's 5-hour makeup job. Now let's return to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is our feature movie this week on Red's Classic Theater. Throughout the production of tonight's movie, Charles Laughton had a love-hate relationship with his makeup man, the legendary artist Percy Westmore. Loved his work, but hated him. At one point, Laughton had asked Westmore to make the hump on his back heavier. Westmore said, "Well, can't you simply just act it?" Insulted, Laughton referred to him as a hired hand. Maybe it was the heat that caused their temperatures to rise. During daytime shooting, temperatures hit 100 degrees, and it was so hot at night, Charles Laughton had to wrap his body in wet sheets just to get to sleep. Now let's return to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Hope you're enjoying The Hunchback of Notre Dame this week on Red's Classic Theater. Tonight's 1939 version is but one of many that made it to the big screen. Wearing a punishing 40-pound costume, Lon Chaney pioneered the role of Quasimodo in the 1923 silent original. 3 decades later, James Cagney recreated Chaney's makeup for A Man of a Thousand Faces. Anthony Quinn played the bell ringer in 1957 opposite Gina Lollobrigida as Esmeralda. The 1982 made-for-TV film featured Anthony Hopkins. And most recently, Disney's Hunchback featured the voices of Tom Hulce and Demi Moore. But none are more highly regarded than the version you're watching tonight. Let's return to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Time now to test your knowledge with our weekly trivia quiz. Though nominated 3 times, Charles Laughton won the Best Actor Oscar only once. Can you name the film for which he won the award? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment. Time now to see if your answer is correct. In 1932, Charles Laughton took home his one and only Academy Award for his role in the motion picture The Private Life of Henry VIII. Now let's return to Academy Award winner Charles Laughton in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Next Sunday night on Red's Classic Theater, Tony Curtis, Henry Fonda, Natalie Wood, and Lauren Bacall light up the screen when they star in the film loosely based on the book by Helen Gurley Brown, Sex and the Single Girl, our movie next week on Red's Classic Theater. And that brings this week's show to an end. I hope you enjoyed The Hunchback of Notre Dame with Charles Laughton. Say, if you have an idea of a location or any suggestions for our show, we really would like to hear from you. Call us at TV 12 tomorrow morning. I'll see you on 650 Sea Isle tomorrow morning with the Wake Up Club, and next week here on Red's Classic Theater. Thanks for being with us. Good night, everybody. The Hunchback of Notre Dame on Red's Classic Theater will continue. The Hunchback of Notre Dame on Red's Classic Theater will continue. The Hunchback of Notre Dame on Red's Classic Theater will continue. This week on Red's Classic Theater, Charles Laughton plays Victor Hugo's tortured bell ringer in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Sunday night at 10 here on TV 12. Tonight on Red's Classic Theater, Charles Laughton plays Victor Hugo's tortured bell ringer in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, tonight at 10 here on TV 12. The Hunchback of Notre Dame on Red's Classic Theater, Sunday night at 10. The Hunchback of Notre Dame on Red's Classic Theater, tonight at 10.